All right, I want to get back to the cost of amnesty. The Heritage Foundation gave us the hard dollar number on President Obama's executive order. Here it is again, $40 billion a year, each and every year for 5 decades. Heritage economist Steve Moore is with us. Now, this is a Heritage study, and you're chief economist at Heritage. And as I understand it, this study suggested that this would be the cost if all of these 4 million eventually become fully resident and go on to claim Medicare and Social Security benefits and all the rest of it. So that's assuming they all stay and all go with the flow, so to speak. Is that an accurate number, 40 billion?
Well, I think it is pretty close to being accurate if as you said, they become eligible for all these programs. Now, remember when President Obama gave his speech last week, he said, well, we're not going to sign these folks up for welfare when they're not going to be eligible for Obamacare. And I simply don't believe that. I think that if you look at the history of these programs, once the immigrants become legal citizens, they become eligible for these not legal citizens, legal residents. They become eligible for these programs. It's hard to shut them off. So you're talking about potentially very significant tens of billions of dollars a year in terms of paying for those benefits. Now, look, I'm with you, Stuart. I agreed entirely with your opening statement that immigrants are good for the economy. They provide the needed skills and talents. They're hardworking people. What I object to, and I think what Heritage objects to, is the idea that we're going to let immigrants come into the country illegally and then be able to be eligible for these expensive welfare programs. We can't afford that.
I think America is wildly pro-immigrant. We are a nation of immigrants. And if you had millions of people coming into the country every year, but you gave them nothing, they came and made their own way in our society. If you did that, I think that mass immigration would be popular. But when it's so expensive, I think you have the problem of turning politically against this being a nation of immigrants and welcoming immigrants to our shores. I think it changes the politics of it, changes the popularity of immigration. What say you?
Once again, I think you nailed it. You know, as someone who I actually believe that we do need a total overhaul of our immigration system, and I actually agree with some of the things that President Obama wants to do on immigration reform. But this has so poisoned the well, Stuart, and that the environment has become so toxic now on immigration. I think the president has done a real disservice to the whole aim of getting a modernized immigration system so we can get the best and the brightest and the brainiacs, the people who are going to go to Silicon Valley and create new industries. Now there's just this kind of locking heads. There's such a, as I said, a toxic environment, and that's a real disappointment because we do need immigration reform. And even this point about, you know, legalizing some of these people who are here illegally, I think Americans might go for that, might go for it, if you had a secure border. But you don't allow the people to come in illegally before you get the border secure. I mean, imagine what the border is going to be like for the next 2 years, Stuart. It's going to be like a get-out-of-jail free card. People are going to tunnel here. They'll parachute here. They're going to jump over those fences because if you get here, you get to be legal.
Yeah, I think another wave is coming. Looks like it. All right, Steve, hold on a second. Let me break away. I want to just deal with the financial situation this Monday morning.